everybody, and thank you very much for joining me on my first ever live marketing masterclass. And I've called it Marketing for Tough Times because our economy certainly isn't that great. We've had a technical recession for the last 2 quarters, and growth is lackluster, forecast to be really low this year, 0.25 to 0.5%. And many would say that the economy has been stagnating for the last 2 years since the end of the pandemic. However, it's not to say that your niche isn't very good, but the theme anyway is marketing for tough times. And what I'm going to cover is why you should continue to market in a recession or in tough times, and then go on to some solutions, suggestions on how to make your marketing work in tougher markets. And I'm going to focus on 7 important themes. There are more themes, of course, but I've restricted it to 7. And some of these other themes I may well cover in a future masterclass. So why continue marketing in a recession or in tough times? Analysis from past recessions shows that companies who continue to invest wisely in their marketing do much better. They're more likely to survive, adapt, they engage with their customers, and so they encourage customer loyalty, they improve retention, they can win market share against competitors who are keeping quieter, build their brands, and in particular, they usually grow much faster as things start taking off. So, and who says this? Where's the evidence come from? Chartered Institute of Marketing, HubSpot, McKinsey, Bain, and Boston Consulting Group have looked at this in various different ways. And this is their view. So thoroughly review your marketing priorities and focus. And it may well be that if you're experiencing a tough market, you have to cut some of your marketing budget, but avoid drastic cuts. Stick with the areas that are really important. This is quite a nice quote from Harvard Business Review. During recessions, remember that loyal customers are the primary enduring source of cash flow and organic growth. Marketing isn't optional. It's a good cost, essential to bring in revenues from these key customers and others. So while I was researching this, I came across this matrix, which is quite interesting. And many of us will be in B2B markets, and this is about consumer markets and consumer segments who and how they change their behavior in a recession. And the segments are quite amusingly named, from slam on the brakes, pained but patient, comfortably well off, and live for today. And in consumer markets, the largest segment is pained but patient. And it may well be that many of us are either within pained but patient or comfortably well off. I don't know. But I'm going to share the slides afterwards so you can look at some of the detail, these things. So I'm now going to look at answer the question, how can you grow your business and make your marketing work harder in tough times? First theme is sell more to existing customers. And clearly that depends upon what stage you're at the moment, but hoping that you've already got some customers. You've probably heard before that it costs 5 to 7 times more to acquire a new customer than to get business from an existing customer. And there's another bit of research that says it's 30 times easier to sell to existing customers. So existing customers are well worth focusing on in a recession or tough times. So analyze your customers over the last 1 to 3 years. Look at their profits and revenue. and then apply the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. And what you'll find is that your top 20% of your customers are probably contributing 80% of your profits. So focus on looking after them, reward their loyalty. You could set up a loyalty program. You could create special offers, especially for them. You could introduce premium products, which would appeal to them so that you can generate more revenue from them. But overall, make them feel valued and really nurture the top 20% of your existing customers. It's important to focus on your customers' lifetime value rather than just what they're worth to you at the moment or in the short term. There's a lot of value in focusing on customer retention. So you don't want to, if you're in the sort of business where you lose some customers as you go along, you want to improve your retention, and you can do that by improving your customer experience. And if you can improve your customer retention by 5%, you can increase your profits by 25% or more. And the last point here is something that's sometimes forgotten about is leverage referrals and run campaigns that stimulate referrals and reward referrals. I say it's sometimes forgotten about, but you actually do see more and more companies now trying to get us to refer our friends and such like. And referrals is very inexpensive, so that's a good thing to do. So I'm now going to go on to the second theme. There are actually just 3 main ways to grow your business. So harness the power of 3 here. The first one is increase the number of customers you have, and appreciate that if it's hard winning customers, then that might not be so easy. Second point is increase their average spend. And the third is get customers to buy from you more regularly. And we all have seen that in terms of increasing, well, maybe in tough times, the key things are 2 and 3. But we've all seen over recent time that Tesco's and other supermarkets do everything they can to make us buy more, and sometimes to buy more than we need. And in terms of getting customers to buy from you more regularly, you can look at special offers. You can use email marketing to encourage customers to go back to your website or repurchase. You can also launch subscription models, and subscription models are sometimes seen as the holy grail in e-commerce because people are paying monthly subscriptions for whatever it is, your service or your product that you're offering. So small improvements in these areas can result in substantial growth. And if you can increase each of these by 10%, you can get a 30% increase in sales. And it's actually not that hard to increase sales by up to 50%. So I didn't really introduce myself at the start, so I'll just introduce myself briefly. I'm a chartered marketer, a growth coach, and if we were meeting, my business card describes me as a marketing evangelist. I provide full service marketing, so holistic professional marketing consultancy, and also coaching, growth coaching. I've been working in marketing for more than 30 years, so my clients benefit from that experience. And I've worked with about 250 SMEs and provide them with advanced multi-channel marketing. My clients are mostly small businesses, and they come from quite a wide range of sectors, but particularly technology, retailing and e-commerce, food and drink, tourism, education, property and professional services. And they range from executive coaches, consultancies, private schools and technology companies to e-bike businesses, food and drink businesses, architects, construction companies, and historic event venues. So I've been lucky enough to work with all sorts of different clients in different areas. So continuing with the themes for marketing in tough markets, create a clear, powerful sales pitch. You need to stand out. So create a sales pitch with a genuine USP, a genuine differentiator based on research. You want it to be unique, clear, and true. And too often, many of the sales pitches that you see are bland, boring, and copycat. So most of us are in very competitive markets. You need to stand out. So develop a genuine USP. And writing a sales pitch and working out what your USP is not easy. It takes several attempts, and you often find you're continuing making improvements even as time goes on. And so what is a USP? It's why should I buy from you and not your closest competitor? It answers that question. And one way of looking at it is, if you had a competitor on the other side of the road, would they cross the road to your business? So you need to understand what your customers are really buying from you. What are their problems, their emotional needs, their desires? And I've got one client, they're called Eco, Sash and Case, who restore windows in historic houses, but their whole USP is based on sustainability and eco. And recently they've won a new client who, which is a castle, where sustainability is very important to them. So you can see the two matching up together. So in summary, you need to create an attention-grabbing sales pitch. A 1-minute pitch is quite a good way to set it. And then have a shorter elevator pitch, a shorter version of it, and a one-liner. So next point is, next theme is improve your conversion rates. And improving conversion rates is often not given enough attention. Some of you might have heard of conversion rate optimization, which is a whole service provided by specialist digital marketing companies. But if you can improve your conversion rates, you can improve the return from your marketing, because you've gone out there and you've driven, you've attracted people to your website or to whatever it is. If you can improve your conversion rates, then you increase the return from your marketing. And if you can, many websites have got conversion rates of 1 to 2%, they're surprisingly low. So 1 to 2% of visitors to your website or to a website might be contacting you. And it's really often not that hard to double your conversion rates. And if you double your conversion rates, it doesn't necessarily cost very much. So you can halve your acquisition costs. So how do you do this on websites? Well, referring back to what we were talking about, have a clear USP with persuasive copy and good selling points. Communicate trust very quickly from your website. There's something called the 8-second rule, which about 50% of people visiting your website will leave after leave within 8 seconds. So you've got to communicate trust very quickly. An irresistible offer can be attractive. Great to offer a guarantee if you can. it's good to what I describe as capturing your customer's voice. And you can do that with testimonials. Video testimonials are particularly powerful, and you can use customers' logos as well. And if you've had press coverage particularly in well-known national newspapers, you can refer to that with the introduction of something like "as seen in." And other areas worth looking at are your how you package up your products and services on your website, and of course your CTAs, your calls to action. And calls to action are clearly incredibly important, and it's good to potentially try different calls to action and test them. And you can test them by doing simple user tests or more sophisticated A/B testing. And what you're aiming to do is to turn your website into a conversion engine. So that's on websites. In sales, I'm only going to cover this briefly. Review your sales process and make sure that you've got a robust sales process, and measure your conversion rates. And you can measure conversion rates at various different stages. So improving conversion rates is inexpensive to do very often, and it's a profit multiplier. And what's more, if you can improve your conversion rates, if you can double your conversion rates, you can potentially increase your profits by at least 4 times, because many of your costs are fixed. And you can, well, this is an extract from a Google Analytics report where goals have been set up to measure conversion rates on a website. That's one way to measure your conversion rate. So good to set up goals in Google Analytics 4 if you can get somebody to do that for you. Bad name when GDPR came in, and many people, many businesses moved away from it, but we still love email marketing, and we use it daily. Most of us. It's an owned channel. We own the channel. It's cost effective, and it delivers a higher return on investment than any other digital marketing channel. According to the DMA, $1 spent in e-commerce with email marketing done well can generate up to $42, which is an astonishing 4,200% return on investment. And the majority of B2B marketers say that email marketing is their most used form of, the email newsletters is their most used form of content marketing. Social media, on the other hand, is much harder to quantify. And one figure that I saw was that email marketing is 15 times better at sales than social media. Facebook would argue that social media advertising, if you do social media advertising well, and yes, Facebook targeting can be incredibly good, then they claim you can get a 25% return on investment. So what's important in email marketing? The quality of your list is incredibly important. Who the email is from, and it's great to personalize it, so it's from a person within your organization. The subject line is very important. Personalization within the email, "Hi John, hi Alex," is very important. The design of your emails is important, and a good mix is to use a mix of designed emails and plain emails. And I don't mean plain text, I mean emails without any, with pretty well no graphics in them. And You could use your email marketing to drive traffic to your website. That's a key reason for doing it, or to achieve other objectives. And it can be very effective to integrate email marketing with your social media channels. Delivery can be an issue, and you need to navigate that. Using video in emails can be very powerful. And I've got 3 clients at the moment who I do email marketing for. And one in particular uses video on a very regular basis. And I've just been going through their email analytics, and you can see that the engagement with video is extremely good. So the other thing I'm keen on is giving email newsletters a name to give them some personality. So I've got one client that's got a Winton wire, another one that has an Eagle's Eye newsletter, and another one, Clearer Views newsletter, and that's just to add a bit of personality. I will provide the slides, and there's a link here to a blog on my website with email marketing tips. So the sixth and arguably the most critical element of marketing in a recession, but actually marketing at any time, is having a marketing strategy. So to set the context, I was going to go through what the consequences are of not having a marketing strategy. And many managers at small businesses only spend an hour a month on strategy, according to Chartered Institute of Marketing. And that feeds up into medium-sized companies as well. So the consequences of not having a marketing strategy are having a poor USP, as we were talking about, poor sales pitch and selling messages, not being differentiated, having websites that really don't work for your business, not having enough focus on conversions, not using the right channels, the most effective channels. And sometimes I find clients who are using the wrong social media channels, or for instance, not using email marketing and not using YouTube. And sometimes it's good to increase the number of channels that you're using. Another consequence is that prices and margins are too low. Products can be poorly presented and productized, and that's particularly true of services that have got to be productized and packaged up to work. It's much harder to build a brand. Generally, they're confused about marketing and what they should do. So in short, their business grows slowly and they can't achieve its full potential. There are a surprising number of small businesses that don't have a marketing budget. And I get clients coming to me, they say they don't have a marketing budget. And then it turns out that they're spending £5,000 or £10,000 a year. And they're really not aware of it. And if you've got a marketing strategy, you've got a marketing budget. Marketing needs to be seen as an investment, which should be measured. And you want to be trying to move from a marketing cost mindset to a marketing investment mindset. So why have a written marketing strategy? And what are the advantages of that? Well, HubSpot HubSpot has found that it increases business success by more than 5 times if you have a written marketing strategy and a plan. And another piece of research with top marketers found that a written marketing strategy and plan increases success for businesses by more than 4 times. I've got a recent blog on my website called Unlock Your Growth, which is about about marketing strategy, which you might find interesting. So a marketing strategy provides a roadmap for business success. It helps you achieve your goals. So how do you do it? you review your marketing, you collect customer feedback, and analyze, say, 3 to 5 competitors. And you also need to profile your ideal customers and focus on them. But you will find that potentially many of your competitors don't have a marketing strategy. So if you have a good marketing strategy, then it's not necessarily that hard to outwit them and beat them. Another area that's really interesting to look at is your overall business model. And that means looking at your customer journeys, understanding the sales funnel, your products, your pricing, and whether you can digitize any elements of your product or automate them. And the pricing we effectively touched on before. So overall, there are huge advantages in having a written strategic marketing plan and an action plan. This is the process that I use for developing strategic marketing plans and action plans for SMEs. And this takes a classic approach to marketing strategy development and speeds it up so that it can be done potentially in a small number of days. And I've created about 50 marketing plans for 50 different companies over the last 6 years. But it starts with a marketing review and moves on to particularly competitor and customer research, and then gets into developing the strategy at a workshop and brainstorming, and then creating the strategic marketing plan and the separate action plan. And the approach I take to developing a strategic marketing plan is to make it very graphic. So lots of pictures and far fewer words. The seventh and last element here of the theme for marketing in a tough market is execution. And excellent execution is essential. So good execution of your action plan is very important. You need to force your plan's execution with discipline, because otherwise it won't happen. And at the same time, inject creativity and some magic, but you need to do it on strategy. So who does it? Who in your team does it? And are they equipped to do it? Avoid the Dunning-Kruger effect. And that's where people overestimate their confidence. It's really another version of a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. And marketing these days has never offered so many opportunities, but it's also never been so complex and challenging. And very important when you're implementing your marketing plan to measure your marketing with key performance indicators. And as I touched on before, develop a marketing investment and growth mindset. And think of marketing in your business as your biggest lever, and harness its multiplier effect. So I'm just summing up now. Marketing for tough times. In summary, these are the 7 themes that I covered. Sell more to existing customers. There are 3 main ways to grow your business. Have a powerful sales pitch. Don't forget conversion rates. Embrace the power of email marketing. Have a clear marketing strategy and a plan, and then execute it really well. So, as I said, I've not tried to cover everything here. There's probably quite a lot in there. And I'm hoping I'm going to have a second masterclass, which is going to cover areas like pricing, the power of video marketing and YouTube, social media, and saving time with AI. So feel free to book a free marketing call with me and get some advice and feedback on your marketing and growth. Um, but in the meantime, thank you very much for listening, and I hope there was some value in that.